this is my disclaimer before today's talk and before every talk I give. This one holds true. So my purpose as the education coordinator, it's not to talk about all this other stuff. It's not to bring in new members. It is solely to provide the members with the tools to help make them a more effective BNI member. That's it. To help you guys be a better BNI member. So if it's a topic that's going to help you be a better BNI member, it's fair game. It's not to help you be a better business owner, it's to help you be a better BNI member. So, along that front, I want you, after I finish here, I want you to either be inspired or upset. If I do one of those two things, then I've got you thinking differently. Now, that means I'm going to offend some people in here. I'm going to make you upset. I'm going to inspire you, and I'm going to make you better, and I'm going to make you money. And that's what we're here for. So what I wanted to talk about today is our forward-facing persona. And what do I mean by that? Is what do we put out there into the world? So, why does BNI work so well? Next slide. Why does BNI work so well?
Because the people we affect know us and trust us.
Yeah, our sphere of influence. This is you. This is your sphere of influence. It's pretty common knowledge, the numbers that go out there say that the average person has about 300 people in their sphere of influence. Some have more, some have less. But it averages out to about 300 people. So, move forward. So, is your reputation easily damaged?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So, is your reputation dependent on those you surround yourself with? Yes? Okay. So we're all on the same page. So next slide. So here are some things that you can do to damage your sphere of influence. So we've got our whole sphere of influence, our 300 people, and what are the 3 things you're never supposed to talk about?
Religion. Politics, sex.
Yep. Sex, politics, and religion. Those are the 3 things you're never supposed to talk about at parties. So you talk about religion, you're going to reduce your sphere of influence. Next one. If you have bad behavior, has anybody ever not done business with somebody because you saw one of their employees acting poorly, driving poorly, cutting you off in traffic? Yeah.
I've had that call.
I've had that call too. I think I was more upset because he said the older gentleman in the white truck. But it's the things that we do cause people to think differently about us and have negative emotions about us. So next slide. Driving poorly. Next slide. Unkempt appearance. Debbie, how many times a week do you wash your car?
Well, usually 3.
Why do you drive a Lincoln? Why do you guys, Brad, you wash your car every week?
Absolutely.
Why do you guys wash your car every week?
I want it to be presentable. I want them to know that I care about them.
I tell my guys it's the professional appearance when you pull in someone's driveway.
Exactly.
It speaks before you do.
Exactly. If you
If
showed
you
up
take
and
care of your stuff, why are you going to take care of theirs?
exactly. If you can't take care of yours, how are you going to take care of theirs? All right, next. Online activities. This is more than just social media, but it's everything you do. What do you do online? What are you putting out there in the world? Are you putting kittens and bunnies? Or are you putting graphic violence? What are you putting out there for people to see? And that includes your blogs, Twitter, everything you do online. How are you commenting on other sites? Next. Politics. This is the big one. And I want to spend a little more time on this because it's one that we can actually quantify. We know that half the country voted Republican, half the country voted Democrat. That's roughly a 50-50 split. So we know if you put stuff out there and use libtard and republitard, you have just isolated 50% of your sphere of influence. Think about that. One little word, you've isolated 50% of the people you can do business with. So next. By doing all of these things, these are some of the names I have been called online. Before you all laugh, some of you in this room have called me these names. because you make sweeping generalizations about what I think, what my politics are, and how I grew up, and why I think differently than you. So if you called me any one of these, do you really think I'm going to send business your way? Probably not. And I have to think twice before I send one of my clients to you if I don't know that they perfectly agree with you. So think about using these names and be really careful about making sweeping generalizations, because you don't know what my politics are. You don't know what the politics of that referral is I'm going to send you. And I don't either. But if you've made a sweeping generalization, you've lumped everyone into that same category. So now we've done all of this activity, what does that leave us with next? This is what's left for us to do business with. So next. So your effectiveness as a BNI member decreases the more of those behaviors you do. So it's a graph, so it must be real. So if we talk about religion, if we have nothing, we're at 100%. We can capture our entire sphere of influence. Start talking about religion. Oh, we drop a little bit. We go to a store and start chewing somebody out wearing my Fast Signs t-shirt. We drop a little bit more. I drive poorly, cut somebody off in traffic. We drop a little bit more. My shirt's all ratty and they want their sign to look good, so we drop a little bit more. Now we start getting into online activities. I'm chewing somebody out because they made some stupid comment unrelated to politics. I just don't like the way they dress, so I say something about it. That now eliminates a few more people. I start talking about politics. Now we really drop. That leaves us with a very small percentage of our sphere of influence to actually capture business from. So next slide. Now if we put all of this together, we have about 24 people in this room. 300 connections times 24 people, it leaves 7,200 connections for us to do business with. Who in this room has 7,200 connections in their current business Rolodex? Nobody? I've got about 400 to 500 in mind. I would love to have 7,200 in mind. And with you guys in this room, we all have 7,200 people in our business Rolodex that we can do business with. Now, next one. If that's you, you've reduced your sphere of influence because you're doing all these activities that damage your sphere of influence. You've now cut off half the people you can do business with, half the people in the room. And if we all do something like that, this is what we end up with. Next one. A very fragmented sphere of influence. That leaves us with who knows how many connections. So, next one. We don't want to have that. Now, we're all entitled to our own opinions. In your personal time, you can do whatever you want. You're allowed to go online, talk about whatever, drive any way you want. And you're all entitled to do whatever you want in your free time. But in business, it's going to have consequences. Because this is a small town. Everybody knows our faces. I went to an event the other night at the hospital, and there was people that I wasn't sure would recognize me outside of the context of Fast Signs. And they did, so I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy with the people they are too, because I really want to do their business with them. But because they recognize me, they're happy. I mean, it's a small town, they're gonna recognize you. So this is gonna lead to lost revenue, lost referrals, and a reduced sphere of influence. So, what we need to think about going forward is how do other people perceive us? What do they think about when we walk away from them, or they hear we're coming? Are they happy? Are they thrilled to see us? Great, we're doing a good job. Are they indifferent? Yeah. Oh, Matt's coming. Okay. Or are they upset? Oh, crap, Matt's coming again. Damn it. We want people to all be thrilled to see us. And that means, as business owners and employees, we have to walk a very fine line in what we do and what we say. And you have to go above and beyond to make people happy. Because if we do one person like this, they're going to tell 5 people, and those 5 people are going to tell 5 people, and you've now reduced your sphere of influence, reduced the business you're going to do. So, back to our original question. Is your reputation dependent on those you surround you with? Absolutely. So if I surround myself with people who are talking about politics, driving poorly, talking about religion every time somebody turns around, what happens? That's going to damage my business, and it's going to damage the business of everybody in this room. So, you're free to damage your business, but as part of a group of others who rely on word of mouth and everybody's sphere of influence, look to your left. No, literally, look to your left and look to your right. Are you willing to tell that person you're looking at, I don't care about your business, I'm going to damage your business and be just okay with it? I mean, you don't want to do that. So don't damage their business by their association with your bad or offensive behavior. So, are you uncomfortable yet? If you're uncomfortable, then I've probably touched a nerve. If you're gloating and thinking that was for somebody else, then you probably need to take a look at what was put up here again, because you're probably doing the same behavior. If you're indifferent, you're probably okay. But if you're on one of the two ends of the spectrum, you probably need to take a look at this and take a look at what you're putting out there for everyone to see, and what kind of people I am now associating with. And because we are all in this together. If we all put our heads together, keep everybody happy, we can draw on those 7,200 connections. That's a lot of people. And those 7,200 connections all have 300 people in their sphere of influence too. Bob, you keep track of your depth of referrals, right? Mm-hmm. You're what, 8 or 9 deep?
Yeah, we've got some pretty, like maybe 7, 8.
Yeah, 7th and 8th tier. Think about that. That's 7 levels of 300 deep. That's more people than live in the entire state. But he's got that because of what he's putting out there, and people trust him. So, let's be wary of how we put ourselves out there. Whether it's your driving, your online activities, how you look. It affects everybody in this room. So, any questions?
What's a Rolodex?
Holy sure you have.